Alright guys, we're going to do a little bit of a special video today. We're going to look at NEWT, Baby, Party, and Kernel. They're all hodler airdrops or launch pools from Binance, or mega drops I should say too. But I just don't want anybody to get burned, and I want to show you where I sold. And I'm getting a lot of comments from my YouTube shorts guys, and a lot of people are saying, oh, you're wrong, and it's 100% up and whatever. Guys, those shorts are about the opening price on Binance. That's it. It's not about any long-term price. So a lot of people keep writing. So I'm going to show you guys, 4 cryptos here. We're just going to take a look. And, these newer coins, they're the ones you can make the most money with, of course. More than, for example, Polkadot or Cardano or something like this, XRP maybe. But they can also burn a lot of people. So we need to take a look at these. And first one we're going to look at is NEWT here. Now the volume profile shows 33.3 cents is the point of control. Again, this has only been trading since June 24th, guys. So we're talking about 1 full month, which is nothing. Now, the only support you really have is here, this daily support at about 53.6 cents. And that's a very weak support. You only have this over here, this closing candle, and then you actually fall down the next couple of days. But this is a very, very weak daily support. Now, basically, I would say a lot of the support would come in at about 41 to 43 cents. And then maybe you'll get a bounce if it comes back. But there is the danger that this could fall all the way back to about 41 to 43 cents because there is just no volume up here holding this, guys. Now, looking at NEWT, the RSI and the stochastic, guys, there's not much printing higher than the 4 hourly. So we need to look at the 4 hourly, the 1 hour, and maybe the 15 minutes. The 4 hour is going down here on stochastic pretty heavily. The RSI is actually flirting with being a little bit, overheated. So not good on the 4 hourly. Now the 1 hourly is about to turn to the upside. So the blue line did cross the red line to the upside. It's just getting out of this oversold territory. The RSI is just slightly gliding up, we can say. So 1 hour looks okay, but again, that's a relatively low time frame. Now, the stochastic here on the 15-minute getting overheated, and the RSI is kind of flat right now, but it's still in the middle of the neutral zone. So in my opinion, guys, the longer the time frame, the more reliable. So the 4 hour time frame is what I would pretty much go with. It's looking probably overheated. So I do expect probably a little bit of a pullback here, unfortunately, guys. And let me just get rid of this. And you can see probably the pullback will at least come down to this 53-cent daily support, if not further, guys. Now, taking a quick look at Baby, guys, you can see that I actually sold this at about 7.5 cents. So somewhere about here on that first day I sold. We are still below that at the moment. Now, we do have a couple of things here that I can see. We do have a trend line that this is just keeping since about June the 22nd. So that's a good thing. It is, not falling below this trend line. It has also broken a major trend line that has basically been holding it down since the 12th of April or 13th of April, we can say. And it broke through that on, let's see, what day was that? Looks like July the 20th, because the 21st we actually looks like it almost touched that. We'll call it a retest. And we retested this yesterday, and today we also retested it. There's also a support here at 4.8 cents. There's, this trend line, there's this trend line. So it got a pretty big bounce here. Everything is kind of converging at this one point. If it can hold 5.8 cents, I would say that's a major win. I just don't know if it's going to get through 7 cents really today. Now, if we take a look at the volume, just real quick, guys, in this visible range, let's put this on a weekly time frame, let's do this. Okay, we do have the point of control basically at about 8.35 cents, 8.4 cents, let's say. So this has a lot of work to do, but it is in the middle of this little zone here, we can call it, or these 3 candlesticks basically, that there's not much volume. Basically, it's going to struggle at about 7.5 cents. That's basically around where I sold it. And once it gets above about 9.33 or 9.34 cents, it's going to get a little bit easier to go up here, you can see. Now, Baby is a little bit older than NEWT, so we do have a 1-day time frame RSI and stochastic here, basically. Stochastic is kind of flirting with being bought here, being overheated. We can say it just actually crossed this red line, and it's kind of flat right now. Hard to say what it's going to do, but it could do something like this. The RSI is pointed pretty heavily to the upside, so again, it's not the worst, but not the best either. Now, 4-hour time frame, stochastic pointed pretty heavily to the upside. It's not overheated yet. The RSI tried to avoid becoming overheated, but it is pointed pretty heavily to the downside. Now, the 1-hour time frame, overheated, at least on the stochastic, it actually has just crossed the red line, it looks like, to the downside, and the RSI is pointed pretty heavily to the downside, but is not overheated right now. Just got out of that, actually. Now, 15-minute time frame, getting into the oversold territory here on stochastic, so that's actually pretty good. Probably going to turn around here shortly. The RSI, though, is still pointed down as well. In my opinion, guys, I just think that this is probably going to slow down. May run up a little bit more, but I think, again, 7 cents here is going to be a real resistance for it. I don't know if there's any news, but I don't think there is any news that is propelling Baby, just like NEWT and PARTI and KERNEL. These are just new coins, guys, that tend to pump a little bit better, a little bit faster, a little bit harder because they're new. So I think if we can close basically above 5.88 cents, that's a real win. That takes out a trading zone, we can say, that it's been in over a month, actually, a month and a half. So June the 14th, we actually got under this little line here at about 5.88 cents, and I've been trading there ever since. So it's a real win in my book. Actually looks maybe a little bit better than NEWT, possibly. When it comes to that, I just think NEWT is probably going to fall under that daily line that I showed you earlier. So this one maybe has a little bit more potential to pump up a little bit higher. Now, taking a quick look at PARTI, guys, I sold this at about 34.4 cents on March the 25th. That's all the way back here, guys. And we find ourselves at, 23.7 cents at the moment. So that's quite significantly below where I sold it. It did make a run back in May above where I sold it, but just slightly, guys. And it pretty much topped out and, sunk down all the way to about 16.5 cents. But, you could have even bought this back at about 14 cents back in April, guys. So, yeah, selling at 34.4 cents wasn't a bad idea, actually. Now, today, it is bouncing. Again, I think just because it's a new coin, these coins tend to pump a little bit more. But it has actually broken through a couple of resistances today. These are daily resistances, so they're fairly weak still because there's not a big trading history. Now, if it would actually get, let's see, I would say if it would get above about 26 cents, that would be a real win. Just don't think it's going to get there, but we need to look at these indicators. Let's look at the volume profile first, of course. Let's see what it takes to go up. Now, the point of control is below, so that's a good thing. It's at 18.86 cents, well above that right now. The volume is actually, going down pretty much until you get to this little candlestick here where it's just slightly bigger than these two. But basically, it's not too hard for PARTI to go up, I would say, due to volume. Now, since PARTI has a little bit of a trading history here, we do have a daily RSI and stochastic. Stochastic is overheated. Now, it just crossed the red line to the downside, but kind of going a little bit flat here. If I zoom in, you'll see it's just flat. RSI is still headed up pretty heavily. So, it's kind of a mixed signal here, I will say. Now, if we look at the 4-hour time frame, it looks like it is overheated and it's about to turn, to the downside here with this blue line. So eventually it will cross this red line, probably make its way down. Now, the RSI just avoided being overheated here. But it's not overheated, but it is pointed down. So again, not the best. 1-hour time frame, again, pointed down, guys, and as well as the RSI here. So the 15-minute time frame, actually, it looks like it might come up here. It looks like the blue line is trying to cross this red line, and the RSI is just slightly coming up here. So at least in the very short term, it's probably going to try to make another little run here. I would be, I would say it's probably going to cross 24.25 cents maximum. I don't think it has enough strength really to cross 26 cents today. It needs to kind of reset, the daily, the 4 hour, and the 1 hour. But, you can see it has been really consolidating here, for a few hours or so. So let's see, it needs to reset and then it'll probably start to pump once again. It doesn't mean that this is the end though. Now looking at the fourth crypto on this list, guys, it's Kernel. This was actually a mega drop one. Now I sold this at 36 cents, guys. We find ourselves at about half that. So I actually sold Kernel up here, guys, on this little wick on that first day. So not a bad sale, I would say. Now Kernel has actually broken a long trend line. You can see there was, a couple of hits along the way, a few hits here, and it broke it really today. So that's a good thing, guys. It has pumped through 3 resistances right now, and it's made it as high as about 7 resistances today. So that's a mega pump, guys. Now, if it would hold even this 18.64, I would say that's a super win. But if it can make it above this 20.37 resistance on a weekly time frame, you pretty much take out this whole time frame that it's been in since April 21st. This whole trading history, I should say. So that is, that's what I'm looking for. If Kernel does that, I think there's going to be, some major upside. Now, taking a look at the volume profile, guys, I just want to show you how big of a wick this has. Now, basically, it started at 90 cents, and we don't really need to look at that, though. Let's kind of zoom in here. We are above the point of control at 17.7 cents at the moment, about a full penny above it, so that's a good thing if it can hold that. But it needs to get above about 19.5 cents, and then the volume really drops off. So let's see if it can do that. It's almost there. It's only about a half penny more. And yeah, I mean, it's not looking too bad, actually, in my opinion. Now, taking a look at the RSI and stochastic here, we are kind of flirting on the stochastic with being overheated. The blue line is about to cross the red line here. The RSI is just now overheated on the daily time frame. So again, mixed signal for now, but this is about to both be overheated on a daily time frame. 4 hour, it's actually both coming down. And stochastic is coming down pretty heavily here. RSI is just kind of sloping down, so it's not too bad. But again, they're sloping down. That's not a good sign. 1 hour, it is actually in the oversold territory here on stochastic, but the RSI is still sloping down. So 1 hour may be about to turn around here. The 15-minute time frame, yeah, actually it looks like it's oversold and probably about to cross back to the upside here. Now the RSI is kind of flat, but basically, I would say in the very, very, very short term, this is probably going to go up a little bit, but it faces resistance at the point of control and basically 20.37. Now jumping into the dominance today, guys, you can see it is falling back under 61.76. It did go actually pretty high today, but it is getting that pullback. Let's see if it can seal that candle under 61.76. That would be an excellent thing. Now, crypto bubbles today, guys, actually looks pretty good now. Earlier today, it was not looking too good, but the last hour is red. But anyways, doesn't really matter. Now, if you want to stake your coins, guys, go to Coinondo. I did make a space and time video last night. You can check that out. That's another launch pool coin, I think, or mega drop. But anyways, guys, go to Coinondo. There are limits and things. They do have, the days that they have to be locked up. Of course, space and time just has some flexible. Anyways, guys, if you like this video, like, subscribe, activate the bell. Check out the links that I have below in the description with those 10 exchanges that I have a partnership with. Of course, I do get commission, guys, I'll be honest, but it helps keep this channel going and it helps keep me motivated. And guys, I really thank you for your support, and I'll see you guys in the next one.